And then you're gonna not
Never
clap in 3, 2, 1, clap.
Squeak.
Okay, you actually both clapped, which I'm genuinely surprised by.
Well, listen, I squeaked more than I clapped.
Yeah, well,
so.
honestly, claps don't really claps don't
the
show up
clap
well
that
on
I did,
audio levels. I saw what you did, Tim, and I saw that Paul did it like
actually
half-assed,
registered. I was expecting it to not, and I was gonna be like, I'm an asshole.
Well, so the thing is that usually both of you make a beep noise or something like that while like either going through the motions or just not even doing anything, because as previously said, we just need silence and loud noise to sync realistically.
Yes.
A visual confirmation, which is why clap sync is a thing, and that's why Paul, what's the thing that I'm thinking of and I'm an idiot?
You mean the director slates?
Yes, slate, thank you. That's what the slates are for. Like before they do any recording, they say, all right, take and cut it. And the reason that it claps so fucking loud is because it picks up on the room mics. So then they can actually sync stuff properly in the editing room, which is crazy.
I didn't know why they did that for the longest time, and then in my college level like intro to editing class that I took, they're like, it's this, you fucking idiot. And I was like,
see, so what it was for me is I didn't know what it was, and then I went on a TV show set and they pulled out the slate and they were like, all right, quiet, sound check, good. And like I was like, oh, that makes sense. Suddenly I understand. That's a clap sync.
Well, so the funny part to me was because I learned about it a little earlier, but I was like, but they have time codes. Like, why did they need that? Like, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, it's not for the cameras, you dumbass.
Yeah,
because I always thought it was for the cameras for the longest time. I was like, cool. Like, take one, you visually see it. It's like, no.
You don't realize how mic'd up a fucking set is, though. Like, until you look at it and you're like, oh, fuck. Like,
yeah. So it was funny.
You have the room mics, the boom mics, the individual mics, it's
the mics,
directional mics,
the mic and Ikes,
the Ikes, dude, the Ikes, they get you. Anyway,
listen, everything's a big yikes on this week's episode of Studio Blank. What's up? Welcome to Studio Blank, the anime and manga podcast where you can find all your news, views, and reviews on all things weeb every single week. This is episode 75.
I don't know what that entire conversation we just had was. Are we cutting that in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, why not? Sure.
So
it's Studio Blank, 75.
It's 75. Like, we're here. We're 3/4 of the way to 100.
It's a quarter quell,
which is
love it.
Wild. Yeah, we've been recording for more than a year. You know, it's great.
Yeah.
Let's honestly, everybody in chat, everybody listening, if you want to come hang out with us live next week, we'll be live on Comfy's Twitch channel and on the Studio Blank YouTube. Come Mondays. Otherwise, let's just move into news this week because we're going to keep it a little short. It's a long week. We had my bachelor party this weekend. Kind of exhausting weekend in general. Lots of stuff going on. Raid Day tailgate happened too. That was great.
Oh man, the vow of the first
vow
disciple.
Of the disciple. Yeah.
Oh man, dude, that is a
great raid.
That looks great. I can't wait to do it. But yeah, Tim,
dude, it was so.
Nothing got announced this week, right? There's no shows or seasons that got announced this week.
There's also, there was not a thing that showed up the day after we recorded.
4, 5, 6,
it could not
7.
have possibly been some of the biggest anime news that we've had in the last 5 years.
I think that's just going to be our topic today, honestly.
I have 8 announcements and then that piece of news and one other piece of news.
Okay, beautiful. Let's speed
I will save the last piece of that one piece of news for last.
Okay. Is that one piece of news a joke on One Piece, or is it just a one piece of news?
No, there is no. Listen, the only news that will come out for One Piece is the live action thing, and they're in production of that. So
that's fair. Okay, go ahead, Tim.
All right.
Hit us with the speed run.
Spy X Family. We have a date, April 9th.
Woo! What day?
And the
April 9th.
April 9th. Damn, I'm so excited.
The promo art for it, adorable, very fucking cute. I'm very excited.
All of the art has been fucking amazing.
Science Fell in Love, So I Tried to Prove It, Season 2. April 1st debut.
I did see that. I knew that you two were going to be hype on that one.
It's a great show. It's one of my favorite shows for zero reason.
It also has one of my favorite Japanese idols in it. She's one of the new characters. I love her. I'm excited. Mushoku Tensei, officially renewed for Season 2.
Yes.
Not Part 2 of Season 1.
I'm so excited. I'm very happy I saw this one, and we all gushed about Mushoku Tensei for a while it was airing, and now that I can watch season 2 on a different platform, it'll be even more palatable. But more on that later.
I was just gonna say, if nobody like gets the Mushoku Tensei hype, the ending of the season does what Demon Slayer episode 19 did. So just go watch it.
Okay. Ascendance of a Bookworm is back for season 3. It comes out on the 11th of April. I'm incredibly fucking excited about this. This show was a dark horse for me and is easily one of my favorite isekai. It's so fucking cute.
I know that you love it because you talk about it all the goddamn time. Like, this is like, if my thing is JoJo's, his can be Ascendance of a Bookworm, honestly.
What's mine?
It's just yours is Legend of Galactic Heroes. Inspector season 2.
See, the reason I give it Haikyuu and not Legend of the Galactic Heroes is because you talk about Haikyuu very constantly. You relate it to a lot of things, and it is a very relevant show because it's still airing.
That's
versus fair. Legend of the Galactic Heroes, you absolutely love, but you don't talk about a whole lot. Like my love for Cowboy Bebop, you know?
That's fair. You guys still have to watch that, and I still have to watch the Dumpster Fire.
Yes, we all need to do that one day. I don't know when.
You and I can sit down and we'll crush it.
Watch it on 2 times speed.
Inspector season 2,
60
October.
FPS. Inspector season 2?
Yes.
You know what? This show actually came out of nowhere when it dropped. Like, it ended up being really, really good.
Well, it's also one of those ones that was kind of a sleeper Crunchyroll original. You know,
absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that we had the other ones which were really, really hyped. You know, we had the Tokto P, we had, you know, Fina Pirate Princess, Tower of God, Noblesse, but like this one just slid underneath the radar and was like, yo guys, I'm a dope show. How's it going?
I watched the entirety of it and I didn't even realize it was a Crunchyroll original.
Yeah.
Until after I had watched it. I'm not learning that right now. I want to be clear. But I do like seeing this is big because it's Crunchyroll renewing originals.
Yes.
Which have they even done that yet?
I would like to point out this is probably because the deal got finalized.
Probably.
So we'll talk about that later. We keep mentioning it. Everybody should know what it is. But the point being is I think a large portion of that was the fact that they couldn't commit to anything while deal was in process because of how legal and financial things.
I would 100% agree with you, and I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. So
the thing I'm most excited about season 2 is that we're getting the Yuki Onna.
I don't know what that means. I'm not a manga reader.
Oh, no. So the Yuki Onna is a yokai who there's 2 versions of. One is a snow spirit, and the other one makes the Joker and his mouth scar look like a little bitch. Her entire jaw is slit all the way up to her earlobes.
Like the Attack Titan.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's where the Attack Titan's design comes from. That's not a joke.
No, it's I believe it.
Interesting. Okay. I thought you were talking about
not the yokai in Inspector, the yokai in Japanese mythology.
That's what my brain did real quick.
No, and I know that because I did it too, but I corrected.
Well, no, because my brain recorrected. You saw it corrected in real time, and it was like, oh, I'm dumb.
It's like, oh shit, we're all idiots. But
speedrunning, keep going.
Comey season 2, April 6th. We're running back turbo.
Comey got a second season before JoJo's finished its first one. Woo! Pain. Oh.
All right. This one sounded really funny, and I know we've talked about it. Trapped in a dating sim, the world of Otome games is tough for mobs. April 3rd.
I'm here for it.
This is going to be my show of the season.
Really?
This is going to be like the #1 show that I'm like, yeah, absolutely. This is going to be my Konosuba of the season. This is going to be my combatants of this season. Like,
well, considering who's directing it, I'm not surprised.
Who's the director?
Kazuya Miura,
who has done,
and Shinichi Fukumoto are working together on it. Miura did Full Dive, and Fukumoto worked on Full Dive and Cautious Hero.
Yeah, knowing both of those, I'm in. I'm so in. If that's just the directing team, Like,
And the script writing team did Cautious Hero, Full Dive, Maruko-chan, and Saga of Tanya the Evil.
I love Saga of Tanya the Evil.
And character design was Full Dive, Overlords season 2 and 3, and VV. So this is going to be... This has real chops behind it, and I'm very excited.
It's got actual solid potential based on the staffing alone.
Yeah.
And then the
Regardless,
concept is fucking hilarious.
if you had told me nothing about the concept and simply told me who was working on it, I would have been sold, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
Was that
More
8?
news.
Nope, we have 2 more.
Okay.
Legend of the Galactic Heroes season 3 stuff. The first 6 minutes of episode 1 were streamed, and they're available on YouTube. It's a 24 episode third season, and that's what I have. It's opening as 3 theatrical features in Japan. The first one opened this past weekend. The next one opens on the 1st of April, and then the last one is on the 13th of May. So I don't know when we're receiving
season.
it after.
They're doing the whole season as 3 separate theatrical releases, and then putting the whole season out on streaming sites in episodic format.
That should be very interesting. That gives Nate plenty of.
I'm just really excited that at some level, like basically in my head, the way that they're doing it means that the story is cohesive enough that you could put it in 3 big chunks and it like blend. And that's always really good because it means like you actually are trying to follow a narrative storyline and keep flowing.
Yeah, so I was trying to I was just looking up the timeline of Legend of the Galactic Heroes production.
Yeah.
Because I did hear about this, but I wanted to like pull it up and see where it goes back to. The first Legend of the Galactic Heroes anime started on February 6th, 1988.
Yeah.
They ended they ended series 2 of Heroes Gaiden in June of 2000, and then did not touch the IP until Production IG pulled it out of the grave in 2017, where they started the new thesis, which is their current run that they're doing.
It's really well done.
It's crazy to me, and it's also like they got the manga. They have a manga adapted now from the original novels, because it was novels, which is awesome, and I love that. There's also an all-female stage production that they made in 2012. I don't know why I'm putting that in there, but I think it's dope that they did that.
It's just the world, and it feels like a light novel. It really does. Like,
oh, it does.
Well,
but
the show,
it's
like
space
as a
opera,
whole.
like
Right? Well,
expansive world.
Exactly. And so, like when you think about it, like you're like, yes, that makes sense.
I would have watched
space opera.
I would have watched a Dune anime.
Yeah,
I think it could have pulled it off really, really well.
Honestly, aren't we getting a side anime story?
You know what? You say that, and I if I say no, I think I'll feel like an idiot, considering we've gotten Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Cyberpunk.
Here's the thing
everything.
is, I want to say no,
now.
but this is going to be one of those times where I'm like Mandelaing it as a no, and then it turns out it's a yes, and it's just caught up in the list of
exactly what I'm
everything.
thinking.
Yeah. Okay. No.
Okay, but
So here's what happened. I totally forgot about this. It's fucking hilarious.
Okay.
If you remember.
You're talking about the crypto losers.
The crypto losers bought the concept art and stuff, and said they were going to be doing it, but it wasn't like supposed to be an anime. It's an animated thing now. It's a whole thing. I was thinking about something separate because there's a video game coming out. It's a 4X that they're doing from Dune.
I was gonna say I don't know what kind of game they could make for Dune, and you said 4X, and it's like, never mind. That's the only type. That's the only game they could make.
Yeah. But
no, it's
yeah.
If anybody doesn't know, some cryptocurrency guys pooled their money together and spent $3 million of crypto to buy the art book for the original Dune movie from
and the script.
Yeah, it was the script and the art concept book for the original Dune movie that was made in
84, 85,
like the 80s.
Yeah,
but point being, a while ago. And they bought it and were like, okay, cool. Now we're going to hire animators and everything, and we're going to produce this into a full IP. And then lawyers came in and said, you bought the paper. You did not buy Dune as an IP. You have zero rights to this. So they have said that they're going to make not Dune.
I just want to point out, it's really
Nice.
funny to me. Because even the NFT concept doesn't do what they thought it did. Like they're a special breed
They really...
of I don't... You know what I'm saying?
I
It's
highly
like, 'cause-
recommend if you're interested in this and you like shitting on crypto NFT bros or whatever, look it up. Look up the Dune script purchasing. It's absolutely hilarious. These guys were stupid idiots and wasted $3 million on a collector's item that I would probably kill for to keep in my room.
I'd love to collect it.
And I know Paul
Super
would
cool.
too, but they
Yeah,
bought
yeah.
it thinking it was something completely else.
They thought they were getting the IP to utilize. And
Yeah.
I was like,
Like, no. That's like just in case anybody wants an equivalent, that's me going to fucking Barnes and Noble, buying a Star Wars art book and saying, I own this now. I'm making the book. Or I'm making the movie. And like, you can
It's
say
just
it's
so
not a
painful.
one-to-one comparison, but then
It's
maybe
pretty close.
maybe I spent $15 million on a signed script from George Lucas for Star Wars New Hope. I don't have the IP rights to it because I bought a fucking script.
anyway.
Anyways.
I'm excited. So, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, to kind of loop back to that thread, is honestly one of those things that you could consider a Dune space opera scale.
Yes.
And
I
you-
like
if
I
you
like
like
we
Dune,
moved
you're
to
gonna like
Dune because it feels similar.
Yeah.
I also love that I brought up Legend of the Galactic Heroes as something that you don't really talk about often unless it's in news, and it's in fucking news this week.
Listen. So,
The timing of that
Ni-
kills me a bit. So
Tim, there's one more piece of news that I saw that I wanted to talk about, but I don't know if it's the final piece of news that you were going to bring up. So I'm going to let you do it, and if it's not there, I'm going to bring up a piece.
There is no way we're on the same page, so just open it
Oh.
up.
Okay. We are getting second and third seasons of Classroom of the Elite, and I am stoked.
That was something that I almost picked,
Yeah.
he just dislikes Classroom
then-
of the Elite enough.
but I decided out
Do you
of
not like
my
it?
own selfish desires
Can I
to
go on
not
a
bring
rant
it
really
up.
quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I hate it. I hate that they announced 2 seasons right now. Because,
Again, absolutely.
I've been on this rant multiple times in the past few weeks, and
I'm just excited we're getting the show again.
It's
'Cause,
cool.
like, it
I
died
like
for
I like
forever.
that, but I don't want to know that we're getting like 2 more seasons. Just go fucking wait for it, I guess. Because with a normal US EU based TV show, seasons are regular. If I'm getting 6 seasons of Breaking Bad, I'm getting 6 years of Breaking Bad, and then it's ending. Granted, it was 5 seasons, but the point stands. It's regular.
So-
anime is not at all, because production is significantly changed. But because of that, we have stuff like Devil is a Part-Timer that's releasing a second season 8 years later. And if they announce it now and there's not a hard date to it, stuff can get stuck in production hell. And
So-
I
The
Stuff
benefit,
can
though-
get stuck in production hell for the rest of eternity.
So there's 3 big things. I totally forgot. There's another big thing I want to talk about, Tim. The benefit of the way they're announcing this is they are officially announcing a July 2022 air date for the second season.
okay,
Yeah.
that's good. I like that.
And they were like, this is it. And then they said third season is coming in 23. They gave a rough estimate, and we're finishing this arc. So you know exactly what's being animated and processed from now until then. So you're not surprised when Attack on Titan does the congratulations, we didn't really do the whole season or did half the season and told you it was the final season. They're coming in and saying, we're airing this and we're finishing the whole first year arc in season 2 into season 3. And just so you know that we're not, and this is why I think it's more okay, is because they're going, we're finishing the arc. We are saying right now that we're doing the arc, and to do that we have to tell you we're doing 2 seasons.
So here I will say that I like that they're doing that. We are doing the arc. I like that. That's a very good communication from the studio, because that's something I get stuck on a lot, is if an arc splits a season and it's okay, well, what the fuck now? I don't like them trying to announce 2 seasons at the same time, and then, because again, Rising of the Shield Hero, production hell.
Yeah.
It's out a year later than it was slated, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. it's
Season 2 is coming a year later than it was originally slated.
And it's okay to delay stuff. I'd rather stuff get delayed than not pushed out, but I don't want to be lied to. And I know it's not an intentional lie, but
Yeah. And so it's the same studio if I remember correctly. But
that's good.
They've got a whole bunch of new stuff in there. Like there's new director, new chief director, stuff like that. So it's going to be a little different, but it should be relatively the same. But like I said, the only reason I'm really giving it kind of the pass that I'm giving it is because the way they announced it is they said we're doing 2 seasons, but the reason we're doing 2 seasons is because we're adapting the entire first arc. Like, and they have to tell you that, otherwise the fan base probably get busy. So, here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, I want you to hit your piece of news.
Okay.
Because mine, if it's not what yours is also another piece of like woohoo news. So go ahead.
My last piece of news is the topic for this week's episode. So
okay.
I have a piece then as well.
Okay.
After
Nate, you
Paul.
go first then.
Oh, you want me to go first? Okay.
Yeah.
So it was announced earlier this week. This is a bit of a controversial pick, but it's honestly like a good move. Mappa is opening a new studio.
Yeah.
Mappa is opening a 3D CG background art, photography, finishing, editing, and design studio in Osaka, primarily focusing on CGI. Now, why this looks bad is because Attack on Titan Season 3 exists. Why this isn't bad is because Dorohedoro
Attack on
exists.
Titan I was going to say because Attack on Titan Season 3 exists.
No, I mean, honestly, Attack on Titan Season 4 and all of that stuff, the animation is not stellar, but Season 4 Part 2, I've had no issues with it the past 4 or 5 episodes. Don't get me wrong, the story's a mess, but that's just Attack on Titan. Mappa's killing it. Yeah.
That's not Mappa's fault.
Yeah, we've read the manga. We have all read the manga for that one. We know that.
Them.
But so they're opening a new studio focusing on CG, so they'll have a much larger staff specifically on that. The studio is also doing background art, photography, finishing, editing, and design, which means it's doing a lot of tiny details that will bring stuff to life a lot more.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of 3D that's been used in stuff that you don't think about, like Yuri on Ice.
Yeah.
And Mappa did that. And I think we can all unequivocally agree that Yuri on Ice had fucking fantastic animation in their skating sequences. Like, very, very good. If you haven't seen any of them, highly recommend you look them up. They're fantastic. I haven't even finished the show, and I'm making this statement because I've seen a few of them. But I thought that was a really interesting pick, especially because we have very strong feelings about 3D in anime. Me specifically.
Yeah.
And I wanted to come out and be like, hey, this is something that's happening, but it's not necessarily a bad thing because it looks like a bad headline.
So,
it in fact could make things a lot better and help deal with some of those gripes that we have.
That's true. Mm-hmm. So, it's news that's going to be shocking because we never thought it would happen. Reportedly, as of February 24th, Hunter x Hunter has been passed along to his wife to complete.
Okay,
so I love this and hate this. Tim, you go first.
I'm going to start with, I have no problem with it being passed on. I think I would love to see the same thing happen with Berserk. Because realistically speaking, these are stories that people want to see finished and that people love dearly. My problem here is, Jesus fucking Christ, don't tell me that. And like, if you're going to tell me that, just come with the first chapter. Just be like, hey, by the way, here's the new chapter.
So I will say, as Paul said, this is reportedly. This is not like a headline that it's announced that it's coming back from hiatus or anything. I think that when they do that, they would give us the first chapter back. I would hope. Otherwise, otherwise, Tim, I completely agree with you. I think it'd be really annoying to do that because I think it would also be a bad decision on the publishers because all it does is leave speculation for people to shit on his wife, and then when it comes out, regardless of if it's good or not.
Yeah,
that's honestly my problem with it is compared to like Tolkienism, where it's like you have Lord of the Rings came out, And a lot of the stuff that's come out post Lord of the Rings wasn't written by Tolkien, but it was written by his son. Does that make it any less valid? Not necessarily. But there's a lot of people that will make that argument of, oh, it's not valid because it wasn't the original writer, and will devalidate all of that. And I only dislike it because those people exist. If they didn't exist, I'm 100% on board.
So basically, I'm reading through the article that kind of did it all, and he's mentioned that he really doesn't want to disappoint his audience, and that it's reportedly, he said that he's asked his wife, who, if you don't know who his wife is, she's the creator of Sailor Moon, to complete Hunter x Hunter in the event that he is fully incapacitated or passes away. So it's honestly more of a what Tolkien did, where he said, like, I'm going, son, you have all of my notes.
Yeah, so
like, you can finish it.
So it is kind of a one-to-one of what I was saying, but yeah, no, and that's
which is really good news for the fact that, like, he understands that he's like, I am doing my best, but I don't want to and it's also so unhealthy at the same time.
Mangaka lifestyles are unhealthy as fuck.
But you get my point. Is like he is acknowledged
how has
the
Oda
fact.
survived this long?
There's been interviews with Oda, and it's the question of, like, how has he made it this far and not destroyed his wrists and his arms
and his fucking mental state?
One, I think One Piece is everything that he's ever wanted to tell for a story, which is how he explains it. But two is he finds great joy in it, and somehow that's enough to just work through the pain, which again is fucking stupid and terrible.
It is objectively not good.
As someone who is actively doing that to their own body.
Yeah, and
stop.
Like, let's remember also that we very much approve of people taking breaks to fucking not, like, destroy their body. One of our favorite manhwas, Tower of God, infamously went on a hiatus for over a year because SIU's wrist couldn't hack it, and he knew that.
And then it was his back.
Like, he was like, I'm having issues, and if I don't stop right now, these could become permanent issues that are bad. And the unanimous sounding off from the community was, please take care of yourself. Please, 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 my sweet baby boy, please go take care of yourself. Because also, if you read his blog posts, he's just the sweetest guy. Like,
he is baby, and I would protect him with my life.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I don't know him personally, but, like, he seems so, like, soft spoken and, like, quiet and happy, you know?
Yeah.
That's the vibe that I get from it. And he could be a completely different person, like, but
yeah, 100%. He absolutely could be.
But, like, that's like, I appreciate him, and we always want our mangakas to have health. Oda takes a few weeks off every now and then.
Yeah.
He takes every 3 weeks off.
He's now taking weeks off, but for the first, like, 15 years of One Piece, he didn't take, like, any time off.
And he
busted ass.
And he didn't have, like, any assistants or anything for a long time as well. And then even now, he does all of the, like, the inking, and then he just passes it off to them for other stuff. Like,
yeah, his assistants aren't allowed to do any real, like, not that the work that they do isn't important, but, like, they do not have a hand in most things.
There's mangas where you have an entire team of people writing stuff and one person at the head who's just like, this is the plot, this is the story, this is how we progress. And then you have Oda in his room, pain. And it's like, I also love the comparison of, like, US comics to, like, Japanese comics, because in the US, if you go out and you buy a comic book, there's generally 3 names that are written on it. One person for somebody who was writing it, one person for who was actually making it, and one person who was lettering and scripting it. Like, and you need all 3 of those people. And then in Japan, manga artists are just like, yeah, fuck you, I'll do all of it.
Yeah, I think lettering and scripting is, like, one of the few things his assistants are allowed to do.
Yeah, it's a very menial task.
And bringing coffee.
And painkillers.
I'm just saying, like, it's one of these things where, like,
A Xanax.
I will never be upset with the creator of a world determining how they want their world to continue. Like,
Absolutely
I can be like, you know, frustrated that I am not getting what I want. You know what I mean? But I can never be like, nah, you can't do that. Like, I don't believe in that. Like, it's like, it's your fucking world. Like, why the fuck can I can't say anything.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if I'm gonna trust anyone with Hunter x Hunter, how the creator of Sailor Moon is a more than appropriate
the vibe
person
is
to stick it
almost
on.
there exactly.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense that they're married. Like,
Sailor Moon is somehow more violent than Hunter x Hunter. Like, if anyone is gonna make if anyone is gonna make Hunter x Hunter just as amazingly, it'll be her.
Hey guys, can I give you a deep dark secret?
Sure.
Yes.
I haven't watched Sailor Moon because I hate her voice.
Okay.
And
I
now,
mean, I
to
haven't seen
be
Sailor-
fair,
I haven't seen Sailor Moon either, so
Sailor Moon, the character in the first like 20 episodes is insufferable.
Oh no. Here's what I was gonna say is this is another one where I'm like, read the manga. Because
I'll just watch Sailor Moon Crystal.
You and I have the same problem with Asta and with Naruto. And I completely understand. I do not like Sailor Moon's voice.
Her character in the first couple episodes before things actually happen is also pretty just... It's not good. Granted, it's not supposed to be good, but she's complaining about everything. Like, she's so loud. It's like... It's one of the things that I need to do, but I'll like read the manga.
But the
or
Sailor
something.
Moon manga is fucking money.
I do know,
Absolute
what is it,
cash.
Venus and Saturn?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Venus and Saturn are definitely cousins. And nothing more. It's really weird when cousins kiss on US TV, but hey.
Hey,
anybody
welcome to
that
the
didn't
South.
know, they were gay, but US media during the dubbing changed it because it was on 4Kids and they couldn't do that. I think it was 4Kids at least.
It was absolutely for kids.
It was absolutely yeah.
I remember it was part of my Saturday morning cartoons.
4Kids voice acting?
4Kids voice
Not
acting.
all there.
Okay, some of it was good. Not a lot of it, but some of it was good.
Some of it was good. Yeah. It's something that I'll get to, but Tim, hey, we've been beating around the bush for a solid 32 minutes and 37 seconds.
Goodbye, Funimation.
Who can
Goodbye, Funimation. Hello, Crunchyroll supremacy, motherfuckers.
Yes. So, as announced months ago, Sony Funimation Group purchased Crunchyroll. We all said, yay! And then collectively, wait a second, if they move everything to Funimation, I will scorched earth this company. But they made the smart move. They moved everything on Funimation to Crunchyroll, which is insane. And they just dropped it last week, the day after we recorded.
Okay, so that I just want everyone to know that we got that announcement on August 9th. I was on a work site in the middle of fuck nowhere, New York, and I wrote an email to fucking Sony's press release. The email that was there asking about this. And when we finally got the confirmation, I was like, nice.
But so I heard some great stuff from friends who were like, yeah, I was on Crunchyroll and I saw Vivi for some reason. I was like, oh, I can watch this now. And I, like myself, have had so many issues with the Funimation player and the Funimation website, skipping episodes, skipping audio, skipping video, playing back at infrequent rates, playing back in the wrong languages. I don't speak Portuguese. I don't read Spanish. And sometimes there's just no captions at all.
So, a couple things. In my already fresh experience. Number one, you know how weird it was that afternoon to click browse and go to new like you do to find all of your simulcasts that you're currently watching and have to scroll through 12 rows of shit.
They uploaded like so
it was everything at the flip of a switch.
They haven't uploaded everything. They have a
Everything will
majority
be on by the end of the month, though.
Yes, they are hoping to have most things up by the end of the month. Like I think they said like 90%. The things that they're missing now are specific subs and specific dubs. Like there are some shows that they haven't ported over the Japanese sub for it yet, like the stuff like that.
Horomiya, to be specific, because I wanted to finish it.
Yeah,
and there was no.
But like they're working on that. That is a process. They are uploading a lot of stuff to the Crunchyroll servers. So I think a little bit of patience is definitely warranted. The fact that we have as much as we got dropped with no announcement ahead of time is amazing. I already canceled my Funimation subscription. I hope you guys did too, because now you can. And if you don't have a Crunchyroll subscription, but you do have a Funimation one, first of all, why? What the fuck was wrong with you? Second of all, you can transfer to a Crunchyroll subscription.
Yeah, you get 60 days of Crunchyroll Premium for free that way.
Yep.
You're eligible. The same thing goes for Verve subs and Wakanim subs. If you have one of those, you just...
Yeah, because Wakanim also transported all of their stuff to Crunchyroll today, that day. But we don't talk about that because there's a much smaller library than Funimation. The big thing is that all the Funimation exclusives are going to be on Crunchyroll, so Mushoku Tensei is going to be over there, as I previously said. Then we're also going to be getting stuff like Dragon Goes House Hunting. We're going to be getting Full Dive. We're going to be getting Combatants Will Be Dispatched, all that fun stuff. And we're going to get so many more Crunchyroll originals now because there are Funimation originals.
I can finish
they're going to
Vivi.
transfer. You can finish Vivi. Like, and that's the thing is, honestly, for me, moving it to Crunchyroll just removes a layer of friction because, like, when I want to watch anime, I'll open up Crunchyroll and I'll scroll through and I'll pick whatever show I'm watching or what I need to watch. If I want to catch up on a show like Mushoku Tensei, Dragon Goes House Hunting, Combatants Will Be Dispatched, I have to actively think, okay, it's a Crunchyroll day today. And then I have to go to Crunchyroll. Then I have to re-log in for the 18th time. Then I have to play around to actually find the show I'm looking for. Then I have to make sure that the player is actually working properly. Then we can watch it.
Yeah.
But it's
that was the
so
average
much
Funimation experience.
And no, I'm not going to say that Crunchyroll is definitely without its issues because I get logged out of that all the time, especially on my TV. That's a pain in the ass. But like works better counts. Like in a world where the YouTube player was better than the Funimation one literally 15 years ago, like
Happy hands.
I'm sad to see Funimation go, but I'm not sad to watch it leave. It can get the fuck out. Ugh. I will miss that tiny little jingle though.
It's a solid jingle.
Way better than Crunchyroll. I don't even have like a jingle really.
Yep.
But like Funimation with that little happy face too, makes you feel at home. So
I mean, did you feel like you're at home then?
I'm literally in my room.
Yeah. Okay. That's very fair.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say.
Yeah. Well, Tim, what are your opinions?
I'm excited. This is a quality of life change that I've been begging for 3 years now, and if you had told me 3 years ago that this was happening, I would have told you it was a fucking pipe dream.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, yeah, because they were competing so hard, and especially in this current, I want to say like economy of streaming services. Back in the day, back when Netflix was becoming a thing, back when Hulu was still free, like
free Hulu. Forget.
I watched all of Lost on Hulu for free. That was great.
There's so much stuff.
But like back then, everybody was just trying to get their stuff onto a streaming service. And there was like 2 or 3. And then now, everywhere you look, everyone has a specific streaming service. You want to watch something from Warner Brothers, you have to get HBO. You want to watch something from Disney, you have to get Disney Plus. You want to watch a bunch of normal TV shows, you have to get Paramount Plus.
I just want things
Peacock
consolidated.
Is Paramount Plus. What?
I just want things consolidated.
I agree. I completely agree. It's really annoying.
How am I starting to miss cable TV?
Dude, okay. I was thinking that last night. I was like,
No.
I don't like ads or anything, but I'll be real. I would love just to be able to do like a Titanfall playlist thing on Netflix where I select like 5 shows and it just shuffles random episodes through them. Like,
Yeah.
that'd be nice. Just calming.
Yeah.
Just sit down, hit the button. Don't have to cycle through for something specific I want to watch.
Listen, I'm just gonna say, marketers ruin everything.
You know what? That's very fucking fair.
I'm not wrong. And we've gotten to the point where everybody's like, "Ah, yeah, I remember the good old days." And we're like, "Man, those are the good old days."
Yeah, it's
I'd
listen.
go back to that.
So it's really weird because we're making this big U-turn because when the internet was first really made, it's a Wild West, obviously. We all know this. Piracy is the number one thing that everybody did. You want a show, you pirate it. I never pirated Game of Thrones. Like, nobody did. That's not something you did, but everybody did it. And then it became so frictionless to get Netflix or HBO or whatever. Everybody just stopped pirating because it wasn't worth it at that time. You were risking your computer for too much, and you could just pay $15 and not have to deal with it and have a way wider access.
Yeah.
And then now we've cycled back to, if I want to have the same access I had 10 years ago, I have to have like 8 different streaming services. And it's wild.
Well, I'd like to point out, though, the flip side of this on another medium is like Game Pass is doing it.
Well, so here you're
properly.
You're right and you're wrong.
Yeah.
Because so Game Pass is doing that, but we're having the same problem with game platforms on PC. Because now, if you want to buy a game, it's a question of, do you buy it on Steam? Do you buy it on Origin? Do you buy it on Uplay? Do you buy it on Xbox Game Pass, the Microsoft Store? Or do you buy it on Epic Game Store? And everything is so shuffled and everywhere, and there's some games that are better prices on certain platforms. There's some games that are free on certain platforms. Game Pass, I will say, is definitely like, we can move more towards that, but like only one per platform. Because I don't want to have to get like 5 fucking subscriptions.
But see, here's the cool part. Like, Game Pass is also doing the consolidation factor. Because you have Game Pass, you have EA, you're gonna have Ubi. Right?
Ubi's an extra charge.
How much?
$15, same price as Ubisoft Plus.
It's just consolidating.
It's literally Ubisoft Plus for Xbox.
That's fair.
But otherwise, I think it's good that they're doing that, and I'm okay paying a small fee if the consolidation is there. Honestly,
well, that's my secondary point, which is like what we're doing with Crunchy is basically the same thing, which is we're consolidating to a place where if you want X, Y, and Z, you can do that. Now, would I be upset if they were like, hey, this stuff has been produced exclusively by the Funimation group, like that is still technically aside from like, whatever Crunchy is. And it's like, these are now Funimation originals. And if you want access to these originals, like it's an extra like $2.50 a month. I'm like, fair. Like,
would I be annoyed with them for nickel and diming me? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
because it's all in one place, it's much less.
If they're going to be, and that's the thing is like, if they actually start making enough originals for that to be worth it, I'd spend the money on it.
Right.
But
and so
like, I'll be real. Right now, they don't. It's like 1 or 2 a season. Maybe 3, but that third one usually doesn't count because it's not an actual show.
But at the same time, I'm going to say it this way too. Here's the wild part. Mm-hmm. As long as the quality is up there, though, I wouldn't necessarily say I wouldn't pay for it, because like I equate it in my brain to like, oh, I'd go see a movie for 3 hours for like $15, and I'm like, would I watch 24 episodes of like an original season with quality of like, say, what Demon Slayer did for its entire season? I'd absolutely drop another like $5 to watch an anime original like of that quality.
I agree with you, but the problem is that the anime originals haven't been.
And I agree, but you get where I'm going.
That quality. I agree with you.
Right.
In this perfect world, in this situation, I think that you're right, and I do agree with you. But it's unfortunately not the world we live in. I want it to be, but it's not.
And I think my point is like that's where, and this is where the money is going to be.
Yeah.
For studios is that, because the same thing that we're saying like with Netflix and Disney Plus, they're shotgunning stuff. They're like, hello, please make stuff in hopes that we get the monies,
Well,
because otherwise we can't sustain the studios, and the studios can't sustain the platforms. So like,
I will be real with you though. They have been shotgunning anime since 2012, man.
oh, I agree.
Like the thing is like anime as a medium has so many avenues to pull from and so many weird fucking things that are so far out on left, right, and center. Like, realistically, if you were to go up to any fucking studio and you presented like Konosuba,
Yeah.
like it's not gonna get cleared, but it's a manga. People read it, and we'll make it. They don't they don't even look at stuff half the time. Example, interspecies reviewers.
So here's what I'm gonna say about that, which is just funny for me. Is at the same time, it's literally just like the one community that you can do anything in, and somebody's going to watch it.
No,
like
you're absolutely right.
Like it's even more so than like the Netflixes and the Hulus, because like there's niche stuff in there.
Yeah, I mean,
but with
there's
anime,
there's like
you
murder
could
mystery
literally
stuff,
just
there's
be
kid
like,
stuff.
with anime, you could be like, oh, we're doing a murder mystery, and animated people will be like, dope. They're like, we're gonna do, the Dorohedoro, and we're like, dope. And you're like, oh, Attack on Titan, like war on fascism and like giant titans eating people. It's really graphic, and like you can't get attached to any character because they all die.
And we look
you're
at it and we're like,
and we're like, dope.
why did it end like that though?
Well, but like, even though we're still like, dope.
Yeah.
And so the point being is like, with anime, it's
think
such
that
the shotgun exists because that's the spread of like interest.
I think you're leading to like just the idea of animation as a medium as a whole allows for so much more expression that they have the tools to be able to shotgun all of that and make all those things. Like that's why superhero stuff was only cartoons for so long.
Yeah,
that's why like realistically, okay, I want to just make a point that like US cartoons are trying to get as weird as anime, but they're doing it the wrong way. Okay, I just want I don't need to go any further than that, but
I was nodding, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah,
now I will point out too, this is an aside, the stuff that they still produce in the Western animation department for superhero stuff though, still balls to the wall good.
Listen,
like
actual Western animation studios are picking up and like destroying shit, and I love it. But there is a large amount of there's a problem in the US where people believe that something animated immediately means that it is a children's thing. We've broken away from that a lot recently, especially with like Invincible and stuff.
And Demon Slayer.
And Attack on Titan. Just even because when those came into the mainstream in the West, parents were like, yeah, sure, you can watch it. Never mind, that's a lot of blood.
I was going to go to the fact that like the other thing again, and a combination with everything that you're talking about, is that our generation is also growing up with
You're absolutely right.
The Amazing Spider-Mans, the Justice League Unlimiteds, the
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Batman, the animated series, like these shows that were like, no. Like we have actual like big boy story and big boy plot points that like, and big boy action. So, and I think also, and let's be honest, to the introductory grandfather of animation into the West in two forms of, I guess, less superhero stuff in Avatar: The Last Airbender and Miyazaki films. Yeah, like Ghibli. Like those two are also the ones that kind of
they did kind of give it a bit of a jump start. And I was just gonna say that like the animation studios in the US and the West are very split right now, where you have either adult style adult content or you have just the weirdest bullshit you could put on TV. And now I'm going to say that the adult style content is like Castlevania, Invincible, The Boys, stuff like that. Stuff that's aimed at a mature audience and actually takes itself at least moderately seriously. Everything else is like the kids shows they currently put on Cartoon Network, which are just I don't know what they are, but they just look like a mess. And then like whatever Rick and Morty is becoming, whatever Family Guy and The Simpsons are becoming now.
But
like,
what's the Blue Jay? Is it a regular show? Regular show? Like Regular Show, Adventure Time.
Regular Show is surprising. Regular Show and Adventure Time had surprisingly adult themes with them. I would put those in the left category as opposed to the right category, honestly.
That's fair. I'm just they look as if they should be in the other category.
And you're absolutely right, and that's the weird thing, because there's also shows like Uncle Grandpa, which I don't need to say anything about that show other than the name, and you realize it's a clusterfuck.
Well, like, and then we go to shows that I miss now, and I'm like, Courage and the Cowardly Dog. Like, what's the dude, I miss Danny Phantom. I was thinking about Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom slapped.
Oh,
Also,
Danny Phantom died way too soon. 4 seasons was not enough. That show is a masterpiece.
I was just going to mention the fact that it was also very adult when you think about it, because his family.
Who was the guy who made Danny Phantom? Butch Hartman?
Yep.
No, Butch did Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah, he also did Danny Phantom.
He did?
Yeah, he also.
I'm pretty. It's the same person. I'm 90% sure.
I see him on TikTok always drawing people and other characters as Danny at people's request because he can do it.
Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, Tough Puppy, and Bunsen is the Beast. But so Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, the two shining stars on there. Butch Hartman, funny enough, recently got into a lot of trouble because he was tracing Mikasa artwork.
Yeah.
For commissions.
One more show that I totally just remembered. You ready for this? Nope. Hold on, name. Blue. Imaginary.
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Home for Imaginary Friends. That. There we go.
I think that one walks the line because
absolutely.
on some episodes it takes itself seriously and it's fine, and on other episodes like, yeah, this is my imaginary friend. He lives in my butthole and likes to gobble testicles, and it's like, okay, why?
Or like, it's my dead friend.
Yeah,
like,
this is my dead friend.
It's like, can we calm down? But yes, so my point being is like,
have you heard the theory that Frankie is actually Miss Foster's imaginary friend?
Yes.
Because it's like her dead child or something.
Yes.
No, it was never dead child. It's it's her imaginary friend of who she wishes she was right now.
Okay, yeah, but like,
they're literally the same person, except like,
it's crazy. The theories that go into that are fucking so crazy, and I love it.
Anyway, the point being is like the commodification of all of these things. We're getting the shotgun effect now, but we're also getting the consolidation, and that's what I'm talking about. It's like Cartoon Network became that consolidation. Like, was it Nickelodeon? Because I was like using the Nick at Night. That's what I was thinking about specifically, because like that's when they had the adult stuff, quote unquote. You know, that's when you had Avatar: The Last Airbender, Danny Phantom, all that stuff. Because in the afternoons, it was all the kid shows, like an iCarly and whatnot. But the point being is like we finally are seeing the consolidations of those what we would used to consider, TV channels on internet space. We have the Crunchyroll, Netflix, Hulu, and so we're finally getting the globalization of a medium and the splitting of it. So, another show totally just thought about, American Dragon, Jake Long.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking at novel titles right now, and goddamn, there's a lot of horny out today.
Listen,
nice.
everybody's been trying to not think about what is going on in the world, and so they've just been turning to the light novels.
Bruh, there were so many. Like, one of them was like, my girlfriend cheated on me with a senior, so I'm cheating on her with his girlfriend.
You know what?
That was one of the titles.
That's the perfect level of petty.
There was also an
appropriate response.
One sec. I need to. There was also.
We need to finish up this discussion, mostly because
I won't pick up the trash I threw away again. And my favorite, Master, May I Suck It Up. Sorry, none of those are actually the light novel title this week. I have found a good one, but
I hate that.
Go. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, we are. I'm just happy that we're finally getting the consolidation that we saw in TV on the internet now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if, like, in 15 years it's a $50 all-in-one subscription for Crunchyroll, Netflix. Like,
Paul, honestly, if it's $50 in like 3 years, that's probably going to be equivalent to $15 today.
You get my point.
Yeah, I would take a $50 sub where it was like, this is my Netflix, my HBO, my Hulu.
Did you know that
Crunchy,
that Robux are worth more than rubles?
Yes, I did know.
That's fucking hysterical.
So you get the point, though. and side note, inflation's only 7.5 to 12% right now. So.
Which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like contextually, the previous year was like 3, and
Well,
that was insane.
They were also lying. We can have a whole conversation about that later, but that's not an anime podcast topic.
But
yeah, the point being is like I want my, and to be fair, I'm really hoping we get kind of the Xbox model of it now, which is you have Xbox Ultimate, and then you go add on EA Pro, add on Ubisoft inside of a thing.
Yeah,
but it's just bundled under like the Xbox name,
which is what Disney's doing.
Yeah,
and I have that bundle.
Yeah, a bundle is fire.
So,
it's very good.
Right. Anyways, hey, boys,
it's time.
You like reading?
I'm just reading One Piece. I'm up to 680 now. So yeah.
All right. Well, as previously stated, I've been searching high and low for a light novel that's not just horny as fuck. And I found one. From the moment I realized I was a silver-haired 5-year-old girl, I'm off to a great start. Not. It seems that I have reincarnated into a fantasy world abounding in magic. At first, I was quite shocked, but then I started thinking, could my soul be experiencing some sort of bonus stage after death? This isn't a dream. I just need to enjoy myself to the fullest. Unfortunately, the world doesn't see it that way. My family life is oh so great with my new parents' pending divorce and the menace living in my house that's no joke. Why is it like this? If I don't do something, how am I supposed to enjoy this wonderful world of witchcraft and wizardry? This is how Alice's story begins in Reincarnated into an Otome game. Who cares? I'm too busy mastering magic.
I love that it's just been Otome game reincarnations for the last 2 weeks.
Dude, they're everywhere. I'm not like picking them out or anything. It's just
I think it's the current trend in isekai because they're easy.
They're on. Well,
That's
so
fair.
it's weird because you had isekai, and then you had isekai with a level of self-realization, and then now it's a Otome game isekai, and it's like, what's gonna be next? Like that's the real question: is what is going to come after a Otome game isekai wave?
I don't know, but I'm kind of excited. Whatever's coming next, it's either going to be amazing or it's going to be a dumpster fire.
Oh my god, I can't wait until One Piece ends and we're going to get 80 pirate animes in 1 year.
True. We're going to get so much pirate content
by the time
after
One Piece
Luffy
ends
finds the
for
One
the
Piece.
anime, we're going to be trying to find the One Piece of change to afford anything. Like inflation.
Imagine if the One Piece is just a puzzle piece and there's like 999 others.
That'd be like
how
a Hunter
Oda
Hunter
continues
ending.
the story.
100%
They
Hunter
get
Hunter
fucked nerd.
That's 100% a Hunter x Hunter ending.
Oda just says get fucked. Luffy just dies.
They find the One Piece. It's a gold doubloon, and on it just says, "Get fucked, nerd. Find the rest of them now."
The real treasure was friendship.
Oh, I was just gonna say that it would have been hilarious if it gets to the end.
I hope that's
and
the ending of One Piece.
It just opens, right?
They just open the chest of Goldie Roger, and it's just friendship.
Oh, I was gonna say it's a
just
video
a
game
piece of
console, and we
parchment.
just start
Start
the
One
Green
Piece
Island
Ultimate
arc.
Pirate Warriors 4.
We just start the Green Island arc.
Holy shit! I don't need that. I don't need them to keep extending it. Nobody needs to do another fucking isekai video game arc in a long-running series. I'm done with it. It's happened enough. We've seen it in everything that's long and relatively decent. We don't need it again. Sorry.
That's fair.
It's
Okay, one last thing before we go.
mm-hmm.
Daddy Traumarai does not play around.
He is the king of fuck around and find out.
Also,
or fucking Wang Wang, and what a
Wang
dick
Wang?
is Yasracha.
Wang Wang also goated. Like straight up.
Honestly, yes, but also no.
Honestly, no. Wang Wang, kind of a bitch.
No.
No. So Tim, I disagree with you. Wang Wang is not a bitch. However, he was unable to look past literally 1 degree of himself to make a better decision. That is why I dislike Wang Wang, is because of his nature. However, he's not a bitch, because when he knew that he couldn't make one decision like that, he literally was like, all right, what can I do to give the best possible situation to everyone else?
No, I commend him on his selflessness in that situation. But also
in everything. That's the thing.
Why would he ever trust Yasracha?
Because Yasracha has literally been climbing with him for hundreds of years, and they had been friends for a long time, and he had no reason to not believe him at this point in time. Literally hundreds of years.
Literally.
I understand. The problem is he's a cat. He's a selfish little bastard.
Well, so
yeah,
here's the
but
other thing.
Wang Wang's a dog. He's dumb as shit.
I'm so mad that Yasracha's just out here like, I'm going to actively sabotage everything you love. Twice.
No.
Twice.
Here's the thing. This is what you're also failing in, like, the sense. Yasuracha wanted him to break free. That was not a joke. He was selfishly being like, I want you to break free.
Yes.
Fuck Traumarai. Like, go be free with the love of your life. Go have a great time. Like, because you don't deserve to be stuck here when you're actually free, unlike me.
Yasuracha just heavily miscalculated that Traumarai cared about his dog.
Well, that, and he also miscalculated that his best friend still wouldn't change at the end, even if it was for the person he loved. Because he was like, and because my favorite part about that is Traumarai goes, like, anyone, like, they fall in love and they betray me, and he's still like, I'm not even gonna do anything.
Really deep-seated relationship trauma.
Like, I am sitting here and I refuse to actually bite the hand that feeds. And he's like, and because of that, you get to do whatever you want to me as long, and I won't fight. Like, no resist, nothing. He was just like, as long as that happens.
Yeah.
And I respected the entire bit enough to be like, fair.
I don't know if it was necessarily respect, more so the, hey, I might find this entertaining in just enough of a sense that I'm already mad at you, so this is a good way for me to get the satisfaction that I'm looking for.
I definitely took it as, I'm mad at you, but even though that I'm fucking pissed at you, I can't kill you. I still care too much about you. But you do need to die.
So you can die at the hands of your people.
Exactly. And it was like, if that's what you want, if you want me to take care of them, die with as many scratches as you can. Fight back, do your best. And then I'll help them.
Yep.
And that was it. And then because of that, they ended up getting the Cajun shit, assumed.
Yep.
Because
my point is, like, throughout the whole thing, he was like, no, like, I'm not biting the hand that I don't care what happens to me. He's like, you were an idiot for thinking I would actually do it, but I can't blame you because you are who you are. Like, that's the whole concept of this whole section, is like understanding the natures of everybody involved and like how it functions with inside the tower. And like, Traumarai is just like, that's your nature. Like, I understand it. And then that's the end of it. Like, Traumarai didn't, like, everything that he did there was like out of respect for the fact that he lived.
I don't think respect is the word to use there at all. I think he placed an inherent value on Wang Wang's life.
Okay.
But he didn't respect the value of that life at all.
Yes. Yeah. No, Traumarai
yes.
has shown that he doesn't respect the lives of anybody beneath him.
I was about to say, like, that is, but in that, like, I don't think you can necessarily say that it wasn't out of respect for him. Like,
you can say it's out of love.
I wouldn't even say love.
I don't.
And that's why I'm going beneath that, because I think Traumarai was
respect and love are two different scales. You can love someone but not respect them.
I mean, that's true.
I was gonna say there are people in my life that I love very deeply, but I have no respect for them or their choices because I think they make bad decisions.
And I think that's literally how Traumarai viewed Wang Wang, which is, you're my dog. I love you. I love having you by my side. But like a rabid dog, he needed to be put down. And Traumarai didn't want to do it because he still cared about him. However, Traumarai has also shown and explicitly stated that he doesn't respect furries as actual people.
They are equal to objects in his possession.
I think as well, I guess my point is there's just an extension of it which Traumarai's like going through, and he's like, this is not something I necessarily wanted to do, because it's not like out of a,
he's disappointed. He's not mad.
Right.
He's disappointed.
He's like
actually he's very mad as well, but like,
yeah, but like it's like a even you too, and that phrasing leads me to believe that there's some level of like, he was like, I was really hoping that like you would be able to use the fact that you can't be controlled by me as a piece to stay by my side. Like, and I'm not saying it's like necessarily.
I think that that's definitely there. I think that is definitely in his statement. However, I don't think that he respects Wang Wang in any way whatsoever.
That's fair.
Like,
I think you get what I'm trying to say, though.
Yes,
like,
I get what you're trying to say, and I agree with that wholly.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think that's his love for Wang Wang.
That's fair.
That's how I'm trying to quantify it.
And I think it's funny because Yasuracha's was also out of his selfish love for Wang Wang, where he's like, no, like, be free. And it's like, that's not what I want.
And we can all look at it as readers and say that, like, honestly, if Traumarai didn't catch a wind of everything and Yasuracha's plan went off without a hitch, Wang Wang would have been so much better off in life. Like, significantly. Him and Doom and Yama, like, and their mom.
This is where I go, and I have to say, I don't even know that.
You don't know that.
It may be better for his kids and his wife, but like, as stated, like throughout the whole thing of his existence, he would have been miserable because he cannot properly abandon his master like that.
Yeah.
Due to his nature. And so like, he would have like been miserable. Would have like miserable.
Yeah.
Now, his kids, like, that's a whole separate conversation, like
that was kind of the argument of why Wang Wang was doing it in the first place, was for the dogs, not for the canines, not for the not for himself. And like, he himself, like, he saw, like, I can't go through with it. Like, he wasn't even like not planning to do it. He was just like, I can't. Like, push comes to shove and I'm not moving. And I love that. I love this entire sequence of flashbacks, because it also kind of explains why Yasuracha hates Yama so much, because of his relationship with his father. It also gives us some idea of where the fuck Paul came from and or went to. Yeah. Because,
it's so interesting. Like, it's just such a good side note, by the way. His full canine form looks just like Yama's, but like ghost blue, and dope.
I'm
so dope.
And knowing where Yama got some of his absolutely crazy fucking power scaling from, it makes a lot of sense now.
Well, what I love the most, right, is that we just got shown in this last episode that Yama has a secret tool he doesn't even fucking know about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is the entity that his mother controlled.
Akronach.
Yeah.
The Slayer monster.
Also,
which is very strong.
So he has that. He now has the fang that doesn't allow him to be controlled.
He has two fangs.
He has the other fang, which is like the indomitable will kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yasuracha has the third fang.
Like,
yeah, but yeah. Anyways.
Oh, and one last thing before we actually, because I want to mention one thing. Traumarai doesn't play, and the fact that he's just like, yeah, this is one of my beasts. Yeah, this is
one of the 23 that I control.
Like,
I thought it was one of 17 of the 23. Like, he controls 17 of the 23 great beasts.
It could be that. I don't remember. I remember that's 23 being the explicit number of, hey, there are 23 of these things, and Traumarai has control over at least a large majority of them.
Yeah, it's
one of the 7. He controls 7.
That's that he still a very large majority of them.
So there's 23 total, and he controls directly
7 of them.
7
at this point in time, which is hundreds of years ago.
Yeah,
Let's be clear. This is at least 1,000 years before where we currently are. Probably more. I'd give it 3 to 5 if I'm honest. But this has been Studio Blank. Hey, Paul. Where can people find you?
Y'all can find me over at twitter.com/I_love_Mondays. You can find me on Instagram at the same. And if you want to see me doing anything else, you got to come hang out here at twitch.tv/Confamous on Mondays, because otherwise I am super busy. Tim, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch. Twitch literally starting this week again at Syndixatrix because I'm going to be streaming Triangle Strategy slowly but surely during EU-friendly times. Nate, where do they find you?
Find me at twitch.tv / Twitter / Instagram / or on YouTube at Confamous. And you can also follow Studio Blank at Studio Blank Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and you can check us out on TikTok, and you can check us out on other platforms. We have a Twitch channel. We have a YouTube channel. You should check them out, and we will see you all next week. Thank you, everybody, for coming by. We appreciate you. We love you. Have good weeks. Take care.
Bye.